Hello, 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 Bougie Girl Cyber Happy Hour audience. We are super excited to be back with you tonight on this Friday evening, this amazing Friday evening for Her Story episode with the beautiful and the accomplished and the phenomenal Liris Crosse. So I'm going to just give you a little brief introduction about Liris. She is dubbed the body and the Naomi Campbell of the Plus as a model and actress and pioneer in the fashion industry for full-figured women and African American women known for pushing curvy women into mainstream fashion. She's graced magazines from American Vogue, Essence, British Cosmopolitan to Vibe, as well as done a store campaign for Lane Bryant and Ashley Stewart. The Huffington Post named her top 10 most popular plus models, and Dose.com named her one of the top 20 models destroying traditional beauty standards. She is the 2017 Full Figured Fashion Week Model of the Year and has received awards also from Fashion Awards MD, Full Figured Industry Awards, and Fashion 500. Liris is the first Black plus size model to walk in a designer finale of Project Runway on season 14, and then went on to be first place plus size model winner of Project Runway season 16. Awesome. She has over a decade of industry experience and educates the next generation of models through her life of a working model boot camp, which celebrated 6 years strong. Her first book, Make the World Your Runway: Top Model Secrets to Everyday Confidence and Success, available on Amazon, has been buzzing big lately. Liris says modeling is her first love and purpose that has allowed her to inspire and motivate women across the world. So let's welcome Bougie Girl Cyber Happy Hour audience, Liris Crosse.
Hey, how
Hello.
are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Hi,
I am
for
awesome. Such a beautiful introduction.
Thank you so much for just being here with us tonight and just taking the time out of your busy schedule to discuss, who you are, share with our audience who you are if they don't know you. But we are just super excited. So welcome, and thank you again. So I know you have an amazing story, and this platform was created to share encouraging stories with our audience, with women all over the world, to uplift them and encourage them. So tell us a little bit about your journey as a model. Like, how did you get started?
Oh my goodness. To make a long story short, I was always really into fashion and modeling and bridal and like princessy stuff. Although I was a bit of a tomboy at times too.
Right.
But growing up in Baltimore, my dad was running for he took pictures of us as a family, my dad by himself, and then they asked him could they take some more pictures of me by myself, and they obliged. I took the pictures. He comes back a couple weeks later with this big print that he took of me in my father's chair. And he said, you know what? She's really photogenic. You should get her into modeling. And that was the seed that was planted that really made me think that I had potential and that I could do it. And that I was in elementary school at that time.
Wow.
But it's funny because my sister always says that I came out the womb modeling. She has like little pictures of me. I was probably 2, 3, 4 years. Probably 3, 4 years old. And I'm standing in front of the fan and I'm giving like Marilyn Monroe.
Right.
And she's like, how would you know something like this? Like you were born to do this.
Right.
So I eventually went to this models convention, and at the models convention, you get callbacks from the top agencies in the world.
Right. How old were you at that time?
Oh, I was in the 11th grade. I was probably 16 at that time.
Okay.
And I remember, sorry if you hear a siren in the back, but this is living in Corona times in New York City.
That's okay.
Yes. Okay. So I got asked to come to the models convention. I went. I got callbacks from like 2 agencies that are no longer around, but I also got callbacks from 17 magazine and Elite Models. Everybody's heard of Elite Models. They all loved me but wanted me to lose weight. So I went back my senior year. I had lost some weight, tried to do the semi-starvation diet and lots of extra workouts, but it didn't do but so much. I went back. I got even less callbacks. Only one callback, and it was from an agency that was already in Maryland in my area. So I graduated high school, and then I thought, so I don't know. I was working that summer, and something just struck me and said, "You really should move to New York to pursue your modeling dreams." Right. And I'm like, coming from like a West Indian household where you get an education, you get a job,
you're going to be a doctor.
Degrees, exactly. So I'm like, I don't know if my father's going to go for that, but I approached him about it. And because my father was one of those guys who was an entrepreneur before people knew what an entrepreneur was back in the day, he believed in me, and he saw it, and he said, you know what, we'll let you forego going to college this year. We'll give you a year to try it out. I moved to New York to pursue my dreams that Christmas of that year. And then when the agencies opened up, I started to hit the streets for the agency open calls. And that's where you get to meet with the different agencies. And I went to one place. They told me I would need to drop some weight to sign with them. So I went back to the Models Convention Company and said, look, you all told me if I was ever in New York to hit you up. Right. I went in, took pictures, took measurements, and they sent me to Wilhelmina Models. And Wilhelmina, I remember the lady saying, I'm going to send you to an agency that has women that look like you. And I didn't know what that meant. Right. But when I got there, it was just all these beautiful models who just had more meat on their bones. Right. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, they got a body like my mother, my aunts. Right. Okay. I didn't know that was plus modeling. I didn't know that plus modeling existed. Wow. But I said, if this was a way to make my dreams come true, so be it. And they offered me a contract that day, and thus began my career. Wow. So like you were saying before, you were coming out the womb as a model. You were, as a little girl, this was your ambition and your dream and your desire, and you hustled and you went for it. You were just like, look, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to grind. I'm going to go to New York. So you were by yourself when you went to New York? Well, I had family that lived up here. God bless the souls of my grandparents and my aunt and uncle who've gone on to glory. But I moved into the basement at my aunt and uncle's house to start it off. But I was there for a few months, and then I ended up being living out of my car for a bit. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. And sleeping on a friend's floor till I was able to get the money together to get my own place. Right. I always figured out a way. And and I'm also going to say, just to anybody watching, if you really take what I was saying in my story to heart, you will see that I went after my dreams. Someone saw potential in me, but then they told me I needed to change some things. I tried to change those things, went back, got even less. Wow. Still, something in my heart, something in my soul told me to still jump out of my comfort zone, which was leaving Baltimore, and to still go after this dream. Wow. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I listened to the God in me that told me to do it. And and I went for it, and I never looked back since, you know? And I know that there are people out there who probably have all types of dreams who are listening to this this chat tonight. And just because you have the dream doesn't mean that you're not going to face opposition, that you're not going to go through people who don't believe in you. Because there were people who thought I was crazy, even within my family, to try to move to New York to do modeling because they hadn't seen it done. They hadn't seen it done. We have to always, another thing you have to remember, people speak from the level and experience of what they've been through. Right. So there's going to always be people who say, oh, no, she crazy. She wants to start what type of business? Right. She wants to move where? Right. I would do what? Right. You wouldn't do it because it's not for you, but that doesn't mean it's not for someone else. So you just got to put God first and say, God, is this, what I'm supposed to do? And I'm telling you, he will not let you fall.
That is so true. And it's like, when you know this is something that your purpose to do, like you said, since you were a little girl, you know what, like you said, you're going to have opposition, but if you keep going, God is going to meet you there. He's not going to let
Yes.
you fail. And he's going to make sure that your dream comes to pass because this is your purpose. This is your calling. So he's going to make sure that it comes to pass. So that is so awesome that you did not give up despite of opposition and audience, like she said. If it's something that you really want, you're going to have opposition. You're going to come up against naysayers. You're going to come up against people who are saying, girl, don't do that. Don't go live in your car. And you're like, oh my gosh, should I be doing this? And it's like, it was worth it all along.
I'm telling you, I look back now off of just taking in all the things I've been through, and this has just been an amazing journey, and it's all been worth it.
Right. So
it's
awesome.
All been worth it. It's made me the woman that I am. It's made me trust in God even more, deepen my relationship with God. It's made me achieve certain things that I can make my parents proud. I can make myself proud. It's given me a lifestyle where I've been able to travel the world and try new things and meet new people.
So awesome.
It's, giving me the chance to make new friends and be on new platforms.
And so it's such an awesome journey that you've had. And now, because of your determination, your persistence, your endurance, now we're here in this place where you've written this amazing book. And you have a book called Make the World Your Runway. Such an awesome read. I purchased the book and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was such a blessing to me because it really encouraged me. And you opened up the book talking about confidence.
Yes.
Is that like the precipice or the base of why you decided to write this book in the first place? Just having confidence or letting everybody know, well, you have confidence?
I would say it is, because in the book, I talk about how your confidence can affect so many different areas of your life.
Right.
Also, I want people to get the best confidence they can have because I want them to live their best lives. I want them to step out and more in their purpose. I want them to try new dreams. I want them to meet new people. And when you have a certain level of confidence, and that doesn't mean you have to be boastful either to have confidence. But when you have that certain level of confidence, you're able to live your life on such a bigger scale. You're able to really enjoy the moments. You're really able to step out of your box.
Right.
And I want people to live meaningful, really great lives. Not only that, just being on Project Runway and being on the Steve Harvey show, helping women to tap into their own confidence. So people are like, you need to write a book about confidence. Then being on Project Runway, people said, I love your poise. I love your presence. I love, your posture. I wish I had your confidence. I wish I could bottle it up. And because I kept getting all those comments like that, I said, you know what? Let me examine what I feel about confidence. And write it out, put it in a book. Because like I always say, I can't travel over the world and be everywhere, but a book can be in every country, every space. And so it's just my heart to yours. And it's available on Amazon, or if you would like a signed copy, you can go to lirisc.com, which is short for Liris Crosse. So lirisc.com to get a signed copy. Click on the book tab. And I say that this book is like my model life experiences meeting life coaching. And it is not the book for you to be like me. It's the book to be your best you. Because look, I've been modeling. The average model's career is, the career span is about 5 years. I have more than doubled that.
That's so awesome.
Okay.
That's
so
awesome.
The fact that I've been able to, and I mean, and it's been a roller coaster, ups and downs, but I have been successful at what I do, and I'm still successful. So, but there's so many parts that go to that. And I mean, this talks about living in your purpose, preparation for success,
right.
And
you share so many
power, because
you
when
share
you
so
look
many
good, you
right,
feel good.
right,
You know, whether you're going to a job interview or walking across the stage to get your diploma from your new master's degree, you
right,
know, persistence is very important in the modeling world,
right,
because you have to stay at it. But guess what? Everyday people have to be persistent about different goals and things
right,
that they want in their lives. So I break that down. Posture and poise and how that plays a part into, you know, whether you're walking down the aisle at church or walking into the boardroom.
exactly,
You know,
right.
posture is also about how your body is aligned. But my thing is, with posture, who are you aligned with?
That's
Who
so
makes up the posture of your life?
That's
How are
good.
they affecting you? And I talk about partnerships, so many things. The book, I'm telling you, the book is the best manual for you to be your best you. So go get it. Make the World Your
Yes.
Runway available on Amazon right now.
Yes, and I attest to that because, like I said, when I started reading, I was encouraged. I was excited. I got excited, like, oh my goodness, I need to tighten up in these different areas. I know you talked about, this is like a therapeutic, like you said, life coach session. Reading this book because you give different nuggets. You talk about, you tell stories throughout each chapter, and I know you talk about journaling. You tell everybody, get your journal out. Answer these questions. How has journaling played a part in your life as far as how you deal with certain things or just how you navigate through life?
Well, interestingly enough, a lot of stuff that I do for journaling is either now I'll say as of late is more pictures and recording and recording my thoughts. Sometimes you just need to vent.
Right.
Sometimes you just need to get it out.
Exactly.
Sometimes with journaling, also, sometimes you just need to write something out.
Right.
And close the book.
Right.
Sometimes you need to be able to reflect back on where you came from. That's another great thing about journaling.
Right.
There are so many amazing aspects to journaling that can build you up and free you up and show you where you were and where you are now.
Right.
That's the beauty of journaling.
I mean,
and sometimes
journaling,
you got some stuff to say that you just need to write it out and then rip the paper up.
Right. Because you can't tell anybody else. You can't tell anybody else what you're really thinking. So it's like, if I say this to somebody, they might look at me a certain type of way. So if I just journal it out, because when you're journaling, you don't have to worry about spelling. You don't have to worry about whatever language you're using. You can use slang, whatever. It's just so therapeutic. And it's just such an awesome, like you said, way to vent and to let go of any type of frustrations or just reflect.
Very much so.
It's such an awesome tool. I know in each section of your book, you talk about, you have a runway action plan, and you mentioned creating a vision board. So talk a little bit about that. I love vision boards. I've had vision board parties in the past. So talk about vision boards and why you decided to incorporate that in your book.
Well, just kind of like the journaling and writing, there's a power in writing out your thoughts. There's also a power of arranging, expectations, goals, thoughts on a piece of paper. Or some people do them digitally, so it can be like their screensaver. But I tell you, every time I do a vision board and I go back and I look and I'm like, wow, this part is happening, that part is happening. It's like it's a way of setting your intentions.
Right.
You want to set your intentions, and it's a way of, I feel, telling yourself, but also telling God, this is what I'm striving for.
Right.
And there's power in our thoughts, and there's power in our words. But guess what? What do they say? Prayer without what?
Without action. Without faith.
Works.
Right. Without
dead.
works. Yeah. Without action is dead.
So
right.
I kind of look at doing the vision board as a way of doing the work.
Right.
It's putting the different things into place. So you can say, okay, I'm getting ready for this.
Right.
And you literally start to draw those situations closer and closer. Some things I've put on a vision board, it took, 3-4 years to get to. Right. But it happened. I mean, literally, I've put clients that I've wanted to work with, And next thing you know, I'm like, okay, I accomplished that one, accomplished there. Okay, I said I wanted to go to this country, went there.
Wow.
You know, it's really amazing. It's setting an intention. Right. And your intent is so important. They talk about that, even about your intent when you're getting married, how that can affect, you know, how the marriage turns out. What are your intentions? Exactly. And you should constantly be updating your intentions throughout the year, but always, I say it's always good to do it either around your birthday or at the top of the year.
Right. Exactly. So that kind of plays into what you were talking about in the book when you mentioned sample your success. You talked about that. That was so awesome to me. We were like samples. So that's kind of like a vision board, right? You're envisioning, this is the house that I want. This is the kitchen that I want. This is the place where I want to live. So is that kind of similar to what you were talking about, the vision board?
Yes. Yes. Just sometimes it's good to just kind of to see it, to feel it, to touch it. Sometimes I can go to a place and say, you know what? I want to be able to buy something from here soon to go into my place. Let me go scope it out. It's almost like when you're going shopping and you're kind of just looking around. You're not necessarily window shopping. Right. You're starting to go to kind of get that taste because you know that you're eventually going to get it. Right. So you need to know what it feels like to be in that store. Right. What does the air smell like? Right. What does it feel like pulling out your credit card to put it down and you're able to pay it right on off, you know? Right. All those things are important. So sample your success, get out there, feel what it feels like to almost be at the pinnacle of what you've always imagined and dreamed.
Right. Because I know you mentioned going into certain stores and trying on the clothes and feeling the fabric and going to like a 5-star restaurant or a high-end hotel and staying there or just eating in the restaurant. So just seeing yourself in these places that you are envisioning and touching and smelling and being in that atmosphere. And that's so powerful in manifesting what we're trying to see, you know, in our lives. Like you said, living your best life. Yes. Yes. And that's so awesome. And so, audience, if you don't know who we're talking to Liris Crosse. She is a supermodel. She is a motivational speaker. She is an author. She has written an amazing book that you see on the screen, Make the World Your Runway. And go purchase this book. It is amazing, from Amazon or lirisc.com. It is a great read. You're not going to regret it. So let's switch gears a little bit. So, because we don't want to give too much of the book away. We want everybody to go get the book.
That's right.
So everybody go get this book. It's amazing. You don't want to miss it. But let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about Project Runway. I mean, just so awesome for you to, like you said, you were like the first winner. You were on season 14 and then you won season 16. So tell us a little bit about that experience and that journey. It was so amazing, so awesome. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So remember we were just talking about vision boards and envisioning things and speaking things. Well, I literally, after I worked on season 14 of Project Runway, where I did the designer finale with Ashley Tipton. She was the first Plus designer to do a finale showcase on Project Runway, which used plus size models, and it was catered to plus size women. Right. So I remember at the end of the show, I turned to the casting director and I said, "Oh my God, this was amazing, wasn't it?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, imagine what it would be like if we were able to work on the week-to-week designer competitions." Wow. He said, "Yeah, that would be amazing." And I remember I just said, "Thank you for having me, keep me in mind for any other projects." That was that.
You just put it out in the atmosphere. You just like, what
put it out in the atmosphere.
Right.
Then get a casting call probably about a year and a half later for season 16 of Project Runway. And this is the year that they're doing the week-to-week designer competitions. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
Are you kidding me? I went in there confident, yet still nervous. And I always say it's a good nervousness. It just means that I'm alive and I'm in the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
So went to the audition, did amazing at the audition. When I got the call that I booked it, I was through the moon happy. I was so happy because I literally, it just showed me how powerful my mind is and how powerful my words are.
Right.
That literally I spoke this into existence, and now I'm living it. And I remember I was just like, all right, I'm going on here. I was like, I'm going to come out of here a winner. I'm going to make it to the end. And I spoke that into existence too.
Speak those things as though they were, right?
Exactly.
You were like, I'm going to do this.
I spoke it and it happened. And I mean, I had the time of my life on that show because we, as the models, we didn't know what we were walking into every time we arrived on set. We didn't know if the garment is going to be ready. We don't know what the challenge is going to be about.
Right.
It's like we're just as in the moment with the designers as they are. So it was just an amazing experience because I feel like the revolution was televised because people got to see plus size women on the runway and see it done well and beautifully.
Exactly. So with such class and grace and, you know, just such a, like you said, the revolution has been televised. And that's so awesome that you said it like that. It was just like, that's so true. Like, this is a new beginning. These are open doors for greater opportunities for other models that look like me. And just, so when they announced your name as the winner, what was the feeling that you had? Because I know you're probably like, oh, I mean, were you expecting it or?
No, because I'll say because we didn't know because they were doing our season so different from seasons before. Okay. So I'm like, are they picking a winner? I don't know. I hope they're still picking a winner.
Right.
So when they announced it, it was just like, as much as I knew that I was going into this and I wanted to win it, and now I'm here at the reunion. They never have models at the reunion. Wow. But they had us there. I was like, whoa, like this really happened.
Wow.
And I felt really good about it. I felt very, very good about it. It just felt like all my hard work is paid off.
Right.
It's paid off.
Sleeping on the floor, in your car.
Yes.
Living with
friends. Days.
Right. It was all worth it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's just a testament, audience, if you're listening, that's just a testimony. Her testimony is so powerful that if you don't give up, the sky's the limit. You can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. You know, sometimes our parents say, oh, honey, you can be anything. But I think, you know, it really can happen if you just press forward and keep going and you don't give up on that dream, even when obstacles come, right? Yes. You did not give up. And that is such an awesome testimony.
My what's the famous quote? There's no winners or losers, it's just people that gave up.
Right.
So I don't give up. Somehow I continue to show up. I continue to press forward. I continue to give it my all. And I think one of the other things about me, another P, would be passion. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about modeling. I'm passionate about life, period. Right. So I put that into consideration with anything that I make myself a part of.
Right.
And passion is so important.
It is. And I mean, you display that on social media every day. I see, you know, you're part of this organization or this platform called, I think it's called Models for Change.
Yes, Models for Change now. I'm definitely supporting them with their initiative for hashtag My Black Model Life. Mm-hmm. It's a Black-led group of models who are really pushing for change in the industry.
Right.
We've wanted change with size and body shape, but right now we're really pressing on the issue of race. For Black models.
Right.
A lot of times I am the only Black person on set.
Wow.
I mean, hair, makeup, styling, like they're not even there. I'm the only Black person. Yeah. So there's lots of tokenism. There's times we go through issues regarding hair, makeup not matching.
Wow.
Some models have expressed how white models have gotten paid better rates than some Black models. also just being called for the certain caliber of jobs at times.
Right.
There's so many things that we have been through, but
right.
Ooh, thank God we just continue to keep pushing
press
through.
on. And that's just a testament of us as Black women, as Black people. We don't give up. We press forward. We're like, we're not going to let you tear me down. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to some of the women's stories, like how some of the women, you know, how they talk about hair. Mm-hmm. You know, and I didn't realize that was such a big issue. Do you feel like when you go on a set and you're the only Black person and, mm-hmm. you know, people are talking about your hair texture and stuff like that, do you feel like you just have to take over and do your own hair? How does that work for you all? Like, what do you have to do in those moments?
Well, I mean, at times I've had to do my own hair. At times I've had to stay up hours the night before because I knew that the person that was going to be doing my hair does not know how to work with my hair texture.
Right.
Doesn't have the products.
Right.
You know, it's times I would love to just hop on a plane and not have to bring a flat iron and a small iron to make tiny curls and heat protector and edge control and all that other stuff. Wow. But I'm glad that these conversations are really starting to become more public and relentless, I will say, because that's how we're going to be able to create change. And I really think that Models for Change now is really going to work hard to put some stuff into place where it really becomes the regular rule of thumb. Because it's interesting with the stories coming out. I've noticed how a lot of white models have said, wow, I've never had to bring like my, you know, a bunch of different products to do my hair on a shoot, or I've never felt like I had to go do my own hair for the shoot because I didn't want them to mess it up, you know,
or burn it out or something like that.
Yeah, but this is why we have to put voice to our inequalities.
Right.
We need to put voice to our discrimination. We need to put voice to
the challenges
issues.
Right.
Yeah, the issues that we go through that I think even sometimes we have gotten so used to it that we don't realize it's something that's out of the norm.
Right.
But now we're having the discussions that we're able to say that, no, this isn't right. And I shouldn't have to do this. Like models saying that they make sure that they always, Black models, always making sure that they bring their foundation to a set.
Right.
You know, in a way, when I think about it, we're actually enabling them from really doing the work to get out there and really study makeup and find out all these different shades that they have to learn to work with to really be able to do our faces well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's so layered. It's so layered. And, but I am glad that Models for Change Now, and everybody, if you're watching, please go to Models for Change Now on Instagram, give them a follow, and check out the hashtag on Instagram and Facebook, My Black Model Life. Check that out and support the initiative.
Right. And it's such a powerful initiative because I'm watching different women tell their stories about body size. Because I know, you know, you talk about being plus size or curvy model and different things like that. Do you feel like that's being more accepted now? Now that we're in the 2020 and all that, do you feel like it's more accepted?
It is more accepted because of social media, but we're still not there yet.
Okay.
We're still not there yet.
Okay.
And it's Models for Change Now on the IG.
Models for Change Now on IG.
Now. Mm-hmm. Models for Change Now. We're still not there. And I'm going to tell you why. We just had designers like, I think it was Dolce & Gabbana.
Okay.
And who was the other one? Dolce & Gabbana. And Fendi. Use plus models for the first time.
Wow. And, you know,
and
we've been buying their products for years. I'm sure Plus girls have been buying their products for years. And, you know,
some of the brands, a lot of the brands haven't been going up in size. A lot of them stop at a 12 or a 10, you know.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, a lot of plus women have been relegated to having to buy a handbag.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Like
buy a
perfume or
Yeah. So we're glad that they're making changes and they're extending the size in their collections, but it should be a normal thing. You should be able to look at Versace and Balmain and, so many designers out there. How you don't have plus size?
Right.
When the average woman in America is a size 14, 16? Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm saying.
So you're not catering to the majority? What?
Wow. But finally they're waking up. So it's a size 14 considered plus size, or is it size 12 or size 14 is considered?
Size 14 is considered plus. Now in the modeling world, plus size starts at size 8. But in the clothing stores, plus usually starts at a 12.
Wow. So a size 8 is considered plus size.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
In the modeling world, yes.
In the modeling world. Wow.
Yeah. And you have some companies, because we kind of call them the in-betweenies, and in-betweenies would be like a full size 6 up to like a size 10 or 12. So that's why you also have some plus stores that start their sizes at a size 10, because they're like, look, we want to make sure that, even the smallest thick girl has something to wear. And we thank God for them.
Yeah, we do. We're grateful. We're grateful for the size 14 stores that sell nice clothes and high-end clothes and good quality clothes, because you want good quality clothes as a plus size girl. We don't want something that's going to be poorly made, shabby, ill-fitting, because I know you talked about that in your book too, about your presentation and what you wear and how your clothes fit your body, and how, if you're a certain body shape, what you need to be wearing, your shoes and all that. So that was just so awesome that you talked about that as well. But do you also find it, because I know we're talking about, like you said, race right now, we're talking about colorism. Do you find that that's something that you deal with, because you're a brown girl? And so do you deal with colorism in the modeling world, or is that do they just look at black as black, or?
Oh, no. We've actually had a conversation about this too. In the modeling world, a lot of times there's not as much variety in the blackness that is seen or used for some of the major brands. A lot of times they have like the models who kind of pass, and that's like a lighter, ethnically ambiguous, she may be mixed type model. Is she Latina? Is she mixed with black and white? Well, I don't know. Or they'll have someone who has more of an African look, short hair, very African look, which we think all of that is beautiful. But a lot of times the African American woman is left out. And we want to see the girl who looks like you, we want to see the girl who looks like the average girl who's walking down the street, who's just a regular Black girl here in the States. And the beauty of our Blackness is we come in different shapes, different sizes, different shades, different hair colors, hair textures. And we just want companies to be broader with their display of Blackness.
Right, exactly. We want to see all shades of Blackness. We don't want to just see certain ones, like you said all the time in the commercials, the ones that are ethnically ambiguous. We don't know for sure, you know what I'm saying? They look more close to one ethnicity than the other. So, I mean, that's so important.
It's variety. Variety is the spice of life. And variety is what we see when we walk outside our doors. So let's see that variety.
That's the reality. That's the reality of life is variety. So we need to see that. So companies, if you're listening, we need to see variety. We need to see a variety in all aspects. So you have a company, a boot camp. It's called Life of a Working Model Boot Camp. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh my goodness. We actually celebrated 6 years at the beginning of this year, right before COVID came in swinging. So I actually ended up doing my model boot camp online on Instagram, and it was really fun. It was great discussions, and people were loving it. But I have really been amazed by what I've been able to accomplish with Life of a Working Model Bootcamp, because I wanted to create a place which was a safe place for people to get quality information about how to either break into the industry or to up-level their careers.
Wow.
A lot of times people are teaching modeling, have never worked for a major client, have never left their city, and some don't even have the true training of what it takes.
Right.
Life of a Working Model Bootcamp has that, from my personal experiences to different instructors that I bring in to speak on the panels and discussions that we do. I always try to pick people who are tried and true or very good at what they do.
Right.
And I've been blessed to have people like Soleil West. She's a 12-year-old supermodel. I've had people like Lord have mercy, like editor-in-chief of Plus Model magazine, Maddie Jones, Full Figure Fashion Week founder, Gwen DeVoe. I've had all types of models, hair, makeup artists, all these different people who are able to give you quality information about how to break into the world, information about your hair, information about your makeup. We talk about how to spot scams. I also teach my infamous runway walk. So
just all type of goodies.
So all types of goodies.
What's the age group for your company? Like if someone wants to look into it or maybe join, what's the age group?
Well, actually, I did my first one last year with Soleil, and we had opened it up to kids. We literally, sorry about that. We literally had a class where our youngest was, I think, 3 or 4. And then the oldest was maybe in her 40s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we broke it up and just gave all types of information. That was when we did our Project Slay edition of Life of a Working Model Bootcamp. Yeah. So but usually I see my youngest I've ever had outside of that class she was 12. And then another one, I think the oldest was 55.
Wow.
Yeah. So I love it because I've had people who want to get into modeling who've come, but I've also had people who just said, I just want the model tools and tips so I can implement it in my life. I mean, I've had pageant queens, I've had authors, I've had dancers, all types of people who have come and benefited from the information taught in the class, because it's a master class. I give you all the information about hair and makeup and styling and photography. It's like the crash course to save you some of the bumps and bruises that I had to go through. So you can always look up information for that. Like you see below, LOAWNBC.com or on lirisc.com. And go to my website, join the mailing list. So that way, when we do events later on this year, and some will be online because we are still dealing with COVID times, you will be able to get the email. So that way, if you're like, yes, I want to sign up for this webinar, or yes, Liris is finally doing this in person, I can't wait to be there, you'll be able to get all the information from there. You can also just follow me on social media at Liris, and you can always get my updates there as well.
That's awesome. So I'm not too old to join, so I'll be looking into that.
No, and you're gorgeous, darling.
Oh, thank you so much. So you posted something because I follow you on social media, and that's how we found out about you. You're so awesome, such a beautiful woman, and we just are, again, so grateful that you're here with us tonight. You said something. You said, sis, you're somebody's prayer. And it says you don't have to beg for love. And so when I saw that, I was like, you better come on with it and preach. So
sometimes we forget who we are.
I know.
Sometimes we forget who we are, and we have to be reminded of it. I mean, numerous people hit me up and just said, thank you for posting that. I needed that at that very moment. And this is why when God tells me to post something or do something, I just do it, because I don't know how I am helping someone else out there who needs that word. Right. And I'm glad I posted it, because I'm telling you, we go through so many things in our lives with family and work and gaining weight and losing weight, getting hair and losing hair, and you know, just all types of stuff.
All kind of stuff.
And sometimes we forget that we are awesome, and that somebody is, we are somebody's prayer. Somebody is waiting just for you. Exactly. Whether it is for a dating relationship, marriage, or maybe it's just to fill that job position. Right. You are somebody's prayer. They are looking for you. They're waiting for you to fill out that employee application. They're waiting for you to step outside and just go live your life so they can run into you on a beautiful cobblestone street. Right. They are waiting for you. You are somebody's prayer. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Remember that you are somebody's prayer. You don't have to beg for love. And that was so powerful when you shared that, because I was like, you know, like you said, it was so on time, because sometimes we're in our low moments or we're just going through something that day. And it was like, you don't have to beg for somebody to love you or accept you. You know, first of all, we find our acceptance and our confirmation and who we are, and affirmation from God. You know, He loves us. He is our creator. So it was like, wow. But when you said that, it just was so impactful and such a blessing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to mention that, because that really was a blessing on that day.
Oh, awesome.
So I know you talked about faith, and I think you said your dad is a pastor. And how has just tell us just a little bit, because we're, you know, starting to wrap it up. How has faith played a big part in your journey overall? Because I know you mentioned God and different things like that. How has faith just impacted your journey overall?
Well, faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Right.
The evidence of things not seen.
Right.
My father, God rest his soul, was a very faithful person. He had a lot of faith. He would jump out there and try all types of things, and he just always kept hope and ambition. And I am him. I am him now. And I'm glad that I have the blind faith that he has sometimes. Sometimes we need the blind faith that this business that I'm starting is going to work, or the blind faith that I will find the right person who's going to love me totally, wholly, and completely, just as I am. Or I have the faith that I'll be able to take this trip one day, make this amount of money, change my mindset.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
You just got to keep the faith. Faith is, if I didn't have the faith, I wouldn't have the career that I have now. If I didn't believe that all this was possible, if I didn't believe that this was possible, if I didn't believe that this was possible, if I didn't believe that I could go out there and have a positive impact on people by just being me. Right. You know, I don't know where I would be. I want everybody who is listening to this live, find whatever, if it's just a scotch, like the old people say, or a tidbit of faith. Hold on to that faith and nurture that little bit of faith that you have, so it can blossom.
Yes.
So it can blossom. The world is waiting on you.
Exactly.
But you have to have the faith. You have to believe, and then you have to get to work.
Amen. So true. And so, audience, if you are listening, she's dropping some nuggets and encouraging us. Again, we're in a life class. She's our life coach on tonight, just encouraging us with some great information and just building us up. So if you need to build up, watch this again. So if you all have any questions for Liris before we log off for tonight, please put them in the chat. We are, again, so grateful to have Liris Crosse on here, a curvy girl, supermodel, motivational speaker, has her own businesses, has a boot camp, just so involved in the community and activism. Because, you know, I see you wear the Phenomenal Woman shirts and just talking about different organizations and talking about pride and Blackness. And it's just so inspiring. And we just love to see that. So what's next for you? What's going on with you right now? What do you have coming up?
Lord. Well, just continuing to do some amazing work with bridal retailer Maggie Sotero. I've been working with them the past 2 years. We're now going into like 2.5 years right now.
Awesome.
It's been amazing to work with them because in the bridal world, you hardly ever see plus, and you hardly see Black. So to be Black and plus size and to represent a retailer that is in over 60 countries feels very good. Very good. And repping for plus size women and Black women. What?
No, you better come on.
Yes.
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 Is that when you did the virtual wedding?
That's a really good feeling.
Awesome.
And people have sent me pictures of me in wedding dresses in Africa. Another lady, I think she was in, where is she in? Wherever she is, it's more of a predominantly white country. It's not like Sweden or something.
Like Australia or?
Not Australia, but the area is a very white area.
Okay.
But she just loved me so much as a model that she wrapped, she chose like 3 models to wrap her bridal truck. And I'm one of them.
Oh,
and all my Blackness
in this
country. And all my curves.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. Those are the things that make me feel good because representation is important.
It is.
These are some of the things that we've talked about with Models for Change now. Representation is important. It is important as Black women that we see ourselves. It is important as plus size women that we see ourselves.
Exactly.
It's important as women that we see ourselves in beautiful ways.
Yes.
So to be able to work with a company who is about love, helping you to feel amazing and beautiful on one of the most important days of your life, your wedding day. To be able to influence the shopping experience for different brides out there. Wow, I knew to look for dresses in my size because I saw you in the ad.
Yeah.
Or I knew that I could find something cool because I knew that you were associated with it.
Right.
Those are the things that make my heart smile and make me keep going and doing the work that I'm doing. This is why, like right now, I'm getting ready for some more work with them shoot wise. So, just always up to something. Always up to something.
You gotta stay busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. Yes. Is that when you did the virtual wedding? When you took the pictures for the virtual wedding, or?
Oh no, that was something else. That was and if you go to my page on Instagram, you'll see some of the pictures from that. That was amazing.
It was.
That was a virtual wedding that I did. It was a simulation to show people how they could still have a social distance wedding.
Right.
And me and my groom had such a great time. We had great chemistry. Everyone is still telling me congratulations.
I know. I thought you got married. I thought you got married because I said congratulations, and I was like, I think this is fake.
And it's funny but it shows me how excited people, I guess, will be when I get married, because they're just like, oh my God, I just can't wait till she gets married.
I know. It was so awesome.
Yeah, but I put it in the caption, but I was like, people just saw the pictures and they rarely see me shoot with a guy, and it didn't look like an ad. It was
shot real.
Set, so they're like, oh, she really got married.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, how awesome.
Yes.
Well, it's coming.
It was so fun.
It's coming, sis. We know it's coming. If that's your heart's desire, we know it's coming for you. So, because you have spoken things into existence, you have written the vision, you have made it plain, you have put it out there. Yes. God is doing it for you. So, you know. So before we close, this is Bougie Girl Cyber Happy Hour. And, our acronym B.O.U.G.I.E stands for bold, one of a kind, unbothered by what other people think, God's girls, intentional and elegant. So what makes you a bougie girl on tonight?
Ooh, what makes me a bougie girl? Well, I would definitely say because I'm bold. I'm definitely a God's girl. And you said intelligent.
Intentional and elegant.
Well, I'm definitely intentional and I'm definitely elegant.
So all of it.
I would say just the way that I carry myself, and my passion for life, people, and what I do. That's what makes me a bougie girl, because I step out boldly and in my life in numerous ways. I always try to maintain my poise and my elegance. And I'm intentional with my words and my actions and my thoughts. So I would say those are the things that make me a bougie girl.
Yay, we are so excited. Yes, you are very bougie and you're elegant and you're awesome and you're amazing. You're a brown girl, a curvy girl. And so thank you so much again. So audience, if you missed it, you need to go back and watch the replay. Liris Crosse was with us tonight, sharing her amazing story and her journey of being a phenomenal model, and just her amazing book that she has written. Go out and get it on Amazon or lirisc.com. Go out and purchase her book. And we are just grateful to have you here. So don't log off yet, but we're going to log off on here. So thank you all for joining us, and you all have a great and blessed weekend. We love you all. Black Lives Matter. Black men matter. Black families matter. You all matter. We love you all. And thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Have a blessed night and a blessed weekend. Thank you.